Good evening. 7 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting of the Stratford Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission to order. First order of business, approval of the minutes of the May 17th public hearing and regular meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Are there any corrections, deletions, additions?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve?
I second it.
Second, Mr. Tucherone, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Old business, none. New business. IWWA application number 2017-5. Construction of a 33-unit housing development on a single-wooded 141,484 square foot parcel. Proposed impervious coverage is 55%, an alteration of 47,34 square feet of upland review area of wetlands is proposed. Site address 170 Roanoke Lane, Assessors, reference map 8 and 9, block 50, lot 20, applicant Bluebird Prestige, Inc., Carousel Stephen Bellis, applicant here? No. Okay. So, we have our staff comments, which state the application is deficient and the application fee is in question, correct? So if you'd like to comment on that.
Yes, I will. I'll actually elaborate. Things have changed a bit since then. But first of all, the application doesn't, they didn't provide any project alternatives, first and foremost. And I believe it's especially important for this project being that there was previously an application approved for this lot multiple years ago for 11, for a development with 11 homes on it. I have to pull out that old permit file, but it should be the burden of the applicant to provide us with the alternatives that can be presented for this project, some which may have less or no effect on wetlands or watercourses. In addition to that, there was a question over the fees. So the initial site plan, the application fees, excuse me. So when they sent the site plans to us, the ones that I sent to you previously in the mail, they had come in with the description of the project being 33 single-family homes. And based on that, I calculated the application fee to be just over $19,000. That included a $210 base fee, and then $500 times 33, that's the $500 per building fee. And then there's a $75 per unit fee. So within each of the 33 buildings, there was one unit. So that means there's 33 units total, 75 times 33. That's how I came up with the $19,000 figure. The applicant, however, came back and argued to me that, oh no, we're intending to put archways between every two buildings, and therefore we're only going to have 17 buildings. So when I sent out your memo, that's what I had updated the total to reflect, which would be just better than $11,000. However, the applicant turned around once again and provided us with the site plans that are now in front of you, which I just distributed. And they're trying to make the case that these are actually going to be separate there's going to be 6 separate buildings, each of them containing various numbers of units. So as you can see along the northern section of the property, what they're calling building number 6 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14. Building 6 would be 14 units, and the roofs across all of the buildings themselves would be continuous. That's how they're trying to come in and say that these separate units are all contained within a single building and that they're not separate buildings themselves. I don't know if anybody has an argument against handling it that way. I've honestly never seen somebody try to argue that before. I don't know if we could say just because they're, connecting the roofs of these, what seem to be single-family dwellings, if they could actually call them separate buildings. The applicant tried to tell me that under zoning regulations, they would be considered separate buildings. I'm not sure how we're supposed to take it under our regs,
Tina,
to be honest.
if these archways are not enclosed, it's just like a decorative archway, okay?
That's another thing, I don't know anything about this
That-
archway.
Then
so
I
don't
would
show
think
me
it's just considered landscaping,
I
it's not
think
considered,
this is something that we keep in mind to ask the applicant when they eventually appear before us, because I'm not given enough information to even make an adequate decision.
That's not a true statement, because on a building, as a building official, I'm a building official, anything that's connected makes it one unit, because that's how you get a side yard or a setback. So if they weren't connected, you got more leeway. When they connect them, you get less. So instead of being a 15-foot side yard, they're connected, you could get away with a 3-foot side yard. It's just in a building code, that's how they do it. So, I mean, if they weren't connected, they wouldn't be able to do it, they'd get less units. So if they're proven they're connected regardless what, by a roof, a walkway, a sidewalk, as long as there's a roof, they got it, unfortunately. That's as a building, to pull a building permit.
Once they're connected, are they considered an apartment building?
Well, it could be.
I guess that's what they're calling.
All right, once you do that, the fire department, I assume, gets involved.
Well, that's why they got the driveway to go all the way through like that. There's no,
These are all questions we'd have to
Mr.
ask.
Chairman,
I really don't know.
Why don't we,
may I make a comment?
Tina, to check with the...
we'd have to have them come in and give us these answers.
I think if there's,
See what
in my
their
opinion,
Can I borrow your pen, Tom?
Sure.
our regulations are our regulations. If there's any ambiguity in terms of what we think, we can still go to our regulations the way we think it should be interpreted. I don't care what the building inspector thinks or whatever. I would go with the original plan, your fee schedule. If they have a problem with it, let them prove
If
it.
they're not impacting the wetlands, what's the argument?
No, the fees are the argument.
Yeah, the fees.
Wetlands on the property.
So they got,
Trying to determine whether the fees are going to
Yeah.
be single or...
Calculate our wetland
let's
fees the way we
find
think
out
wetland fees are supposed to be
Find
calculated.
out what the fire marshal and the zoning, or the building department thinks. And then, you're right. we
But
could
they
just
don't
say, oh,
calculate our fees,
take it
we
at
do.
33, and there's a fee, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
if they
the thing
have,
that bothers me is that they didn't say, when they originally presented the plans, they were just 33 single-family homes.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, when I present them with
It's
the fact
20
that you're
grand.
gonna owe $19,000, then all of a sudden, they're gonna put a roof over it.
go with your original interpretation, in my opinion. There's going to be a lot of cost that, I mean,
Well,
We're gonna have to hire
You can
some-
most certainly say, you owe the $19,000, and if they wanna come here and battle that out,
fine,
sure,
after the fact.
sure.
Show us your money,
Well, no.
then battle it out.
Well, we technically can't
Can't
consider
consider
the
until we have
application
until we have
complete until we have the fees in place.
Right.
So,
I think they got to present us
No laundry.
how they determine the units, being single, double, connected, whatever, and multifamily or whatever, and then get the fee
yeah,
accordingly.
so we'll call them into the next meeting and
Tell them they got to come in and explain to them how they got to where they are.
When we had Avalon babies in the condominium of 130, whatever
Yeah.
it was, how was the fee calculated?
I can go back and look. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
This is
I'll
a
bet you it
little
was calculated on units.
Oh, yeah, it was huge.
I mean, this is a little,
Was it determined by units?
this
Yeah,
is
but was that determined by units?
because they're not, these aren't gonna be,
Right.
high occupancy, large
No, but
apartment buildings.
My
They're,
point is this. If they're connected, it has to be some kind of condominium, because there's got to be some kind of
oh, absolutely,
common fees.
absolutely.
So,
But of course, they don't even provide,
I mean,
Are they coming
if you
in?
have your house and I have my house, that's one thing. If we got a roof between the two, now we have
it's either
shared
becomes,
expenses.
yeah, it becomes a townhouse, or it becomes a condominium, it becomes
They're
something.
individual units. I mean, come on. They're individual foundations, they're individual units.
I tend to agree with Bill. We say the fee's $19,182, whatever the number is.
Give us the check, we'll,
Pony
then
up.
we can, and you can come in the
And if
door.
you
I know.
Once you're in the door, you can
have it.
discuss it.
That's all we're worried about.
But we can't do anything.
So they're units.
Or 4.5, 6 units.
So,
Right.
Our fee.
Nothing's
not a
gonna
big deal.
happen Until they put the fee in, right.
so.
I mean,
do
that's what
whatever
they're
you
coming for. That's not a big deal. This
Say it's just fine.
proposal is fine.
wanna- You want to argue? Go
Because the
ahead.
difference is they don't want to pay
Yeah.
accordingly
I'm
33
fine with
units. They
that.
want to
That's
say
the
there's
way that-
1,
I think
2,
that's-
3, 4, 5 buildings. And they want to pay on 5 buildings.
Okay, so. Why don't,
Again, that's
don't we,
zoning's call.
if you guys are agreeable, why doesn't someone make a motion
Yeah, we're gonna,
instructing Tina to go back to them and say, our interpretation of our regulations are that the fee is whatever she said it was,
Just over
and
19,000.
the boss jerk.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be a lot of things that we're gonna tell them, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, the list keeps going, Tom.
Yeah, we have, I have a list of at least 6 things.
Yeah, and
So
let's, all right, so we have the application, how we will handle the application fee, I think we're pretty much agreed upon. We tell them, you know, the $19,000.
Yeah.
I think,
One of my other major issues is that in the application package itself, they state that the acreage of the project site is about 4 acres, yet on their plans, they mention,
3 points.
yeah, in the site engineering design report, I believe it was, they mentioned 3-point-something acres, so I don't know if that screwed up their calculations at all. I don't know. There's no congruence
unless
between
there was
any
a
of
change
I think,
in plans.
I make a motion,
Application call.
Tom,
Application call for 4-point-something acres to be developed.
I make a,
It's not even so much the number that matters. I just want to make sure that it's the right number. I don't care if it's 4 or 3. I just want to make sure the right number is in the engineering design report, because that's what's going to affect all the stormwater runoff.
I get,
So,
I think I make a motion, table it, you got to get them back in here and give us the right information, because there's too much conflict.
I'm just trying to bring up the stuff that I have to go back to the applicant
Right.
and say, we need X, Y, Z from you. So
Well, I think we should do that, postpone it,
Courage,
and then,
so Bill has a list, and,
but I mean, without them here, we're going blind.
We don't have to postpone anything.
No.
We just tell them that we're not
We're
accepting.
not gonna
We're not
accept the
accepting the
application.
We're not gonna
tonight.
accept the.
That's what I'm saying. They got to come in and give us more information.
Right.
So I make a motion, they come in next month with the proper information, or the next month.
Well, that's up to them. I mean, all she has to do is tell them that the application is not complete and we're not
Right.
accepting it.
And they got to come in.
Go home if you want to take 6 months to come. back.
Exactly, exactly. I make that motion.
do we want to discuss anything else we want?
Well, we can tell them the deficiencies, I think part of the,
Yeah, we need more information.
One at a time.
why it wasn't accepted. I mean, at least give them what we're thinking.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I
Well, no.
think we should at least discuss
No,
the
it's
things
incumbent
quickly.
on us to tell them why,
Yeah,
Yep.
these are our facts of finding, why we're not going to even entertain this.
right.
So we have things like demolition plan. There's homes on that property that Bill brought to my attention that are going to have to be demolished. Where's your demolition plan? Sediment and erosion control plans are nil. Bill had also mentioned wanting a topographic / contour plot plan. Not plot plan.
Before and, yeah, current, existing, and then proposed. Because this thing's, and sorry, excuse me, Madam Chairman, for interrupting, but this thing is going to be leveled from one corner to the other with 2 demolitions of buildings.
Right.
And again, that's going to be part of the calculation.
Absolutely. And the other thing you had brought up, Bill, was the fact that they did not provide any sort of wetlands report. They didn't provide the delineation report. They just had a letter that was sent from Michael Klein, was his name, who's a soil
Well,
scientist.
we should ask, I think we should ask, go a little beyond that, ask for a soil report.
Absolutely.
On any of the applications, we not only get the wetland soils, we get the upland soils. And if you're going to do any sort of credible erosion control, you can calculate that on the erodibility of certain types of soils. We don't know if there's any bone, if there's any rock on this property. I mean, is there going to be blasting? Is there going to be ripping?
Yeah, I had that question too. Tina, did they have any specifics on what they were going to cut and fill
No.
in terms of volume of soil? Because that's going to be a big factor in this whole project.
That's why we need a before and after
Contours, breakdowns, I mean, there's just not enough information.
No.
No.
Any other major deficiencies, or do
Well,
you want?
the other thing we talked about, they show and quote that there's going to be minimal amount of runoff and there's not going to be any pollution, yada, 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 based on their separatory system. But yet, and we've gone over this so many times, every time somebody comes in with a separatory system, they have no O&M on the system. How long is it going to last? How often does it have to be serviced? Who's going to service it? As you said, Tom, is it going to be some sort of condominium association?
What is this, a driveway?
That's part of our wetland protection.
That's a sidewalk.
Okay, what's this?
It's just planting strip.
Well, they're putting in galleys,
Park in
they're
front of every unit.
putting in a
This is just
vortex
grass
system.
walkway. Like with a concrete sidewalk or something.
And then once they come in, I was telling Tina, I went quickly over their calculations on their stormwater discharge, and every time I ran over it, it confused me. They weren't exactly the way they showed them. I mean, I'm not great at that stuff. That's why I think if and when they come back in, we're going to require them to send that through Mr. Casey.
Agreed.
Well, Mr. Casey is the one that's going to end up with it anyway, and Mr. Casey is also going to have to look at the suitability of the sanitary sewer system, which we've gone over with another Orono.
Would you like me to present the stormwater engineering report to the town engineer immediately,
Well,
or do you
here
want me to
again,
wait
based on, I don't know what,
We gotta wait for them to,
we've got 4 different plans now.
Iteration.
they gotta give us the right information.
Each one is going to be a little bit
That's
different.
true, he can't do it, because if their designed.
He can't waste
for-
time on it until it's something that's,
Yeah, if their
Well,
stormwater.
that's what I'm saying, when they
front of
come,
If they don't
back
even
in.
have the acreage right in their stormwater engineering report, that's gonna throw everything off anyway.
Yeah.
So they'd have to redo it all again.
I think you should notify them, tell them what we need, and tell them to come back in at some point down the road. And then we'll take it from there.
If they're still interested.
Well, then that's it. Then why waste our time? I make a motion to bring them back in down the road and end the story. We need more information.
so we've identified at least a few of deficiencies.
Well, I think, again, to justify why we're saying this.
So, should we ask Tina to get back to them and say, the fee's not right? Until we agree upon the fee,
Acreage ain't
we
right.
can't consider anything. And we also,
Acreage ain't right.
these,
Oh, and by the way,
and by the way, we have questions on A, B, C, D, and E, or whatever.
Yeah.
Correct.
exactly.
So, call
That's
us
it.
back when you're ready.
That's it. We don't have to do anything.
No, so call us back when you're ready.
Exactly. No, that's
Right?
it. The ball's in your court, guys. Do what you want.
So,
Come back next year. I don't care.
right.
Is that what we should do?
That's right, absolutely. I agree with that. So make a motion, they come back in at another date.
The appropriate action. I don't know if it's a consensus, but I think
Put
that's
that
the
in the form
appropriate.
of
Right.
a motion.
I did. I make a motion, they come back with all the correct information,
Make an official motion to not accept the application.
not accept the application because there's not enough information.
First, someone make a motion
I did.
that we do not accept the application as presented.
I deny the application because there's not enough information.
Not deny, make a motion
So
to
we have
not
a motion.
accept.
Not to accept it.
Motion
Second.
to not accept the application as presented by Mr. Tuccione. We have a second by Mr. McCann.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Tina,
Now, I
have
think,
you, have you
we should
heard
have a motion
any feedback
to
from any of the
direct
residents
our
around the
conservation
area?
administrator to get back to them with some correspondence about
Okay.
what we're thinking about, so that they can come back, hopefully with something that we can
I don't know
look
if
at
that-
and
that-
act on.
I'm not sure that needs a motion.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I
that's
think,
fine.
I think
That's
that's
just
just
our
gonna be the
normal
standard
course of
operating
That's
procedure.
going to be a...
They're gonna-
Tina's
they're
just
gonna-
got to
They're
get,
going to be part of the process, right?
Yep.
Tina's just got to get in touch with them.
So, that takes care of that. Next item, staff reports.
Nothing.
No report.
Nothing of
Hey.
consequence.
Excellent. Administrative permits,
None.
Commissioners Forum. Adjournment. Motion,
I second it.
second to your own.
Let's go.
So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye. Yes, you should have.
That was a lovely meeting.
Come on, let's go. We got a lot to do.
They were all like